Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we're going to check out another Recur figure, and this is the final of the aquatic species from this most recent box of figures that I was able to acquire. This is the Dunkleosteus, and it's a really nice looking version of a Dunkleosteus. Like, it is beautiful looking. I've been eyeing this one up for a very long time on the Amazon Recur store. It's just something that's always drawn me in, and I always love Dunkleosteus models. Like, I have a lot of them in my collection at this point, and I am continuously impressed with just how nice each one is that I get. And this is another one of those instances where, like, it's a really beautiful model detail-wise, but they've chosen a really cool paint scheme for it that I feel like could, without question, be the coloration of a Dunkleosteus, and it's really nicely applied. Like, there's a very good job that they've done here as far as like shading with a darker coloration here, but the tone of blue they've chosen for this is a really dark, very realistic tone of blue, and it's just insanely appealing to the eye. And the figure, as you can see as I'm turning it here, sports a very glossy look, so it has kind of like that wet look, like if I had just caught this in the river or something and pulled it out, and it would be obviously very shiny and wet. So that's what I see here on this figure. Very, very appealing looking straight away, but the only way to truly tell how appealing is with a closer look, so let's go ahead and do that right now. So starting up here at the head sculpt of our Dunkleosteus, you can see straight away that the mouth is really wide open, like it looks like it's coming in to eat something. That would obviously be something that the Dunkleosteus would be doing quite often, so it's a fairly realistic pose for the figure overall, and it has a nice turn to the body, which you can also see, so it does show some pretty nice life to the model in general. You have the really nice white coloration, more like an off-white, to those plates there in the front of the mouth of our Dunkleosteus, almost making it look like teeth, but they are actually not teeth. You can also see that the inside of the mouth is painted with a nice purplish coloration. You have a dark purple inside the mouth, but a lighter purple that runs around here on the outside of the mouth, and does sport some pretty decent looking detailing on the inside of the mouth as well. The eyes have a really cool coloration for the paintwork. It's kind of like almost like a metallic looking green and a black pupil. I really like the way that those eyes play off of the darker bluish green colors of our Dunkleosteus. Like, they look super, super nice overall. And you can see in general as we look at the figure and we turn it that there is a gorgeous detailing to it as far as like the texturing to the skin. Like, it is super, super highly detailed. And you can see that as I turn it again. With figures like this, I'm always so impressed when companies find ways to apply a lot of detail to it to make it look lifelike, and that is without question what I see here all over this Dunkleosteus. And just like I was stating earlier, you can really see the beautiful paintwork on the figure where it has like that really nice shading that's been done, but then you have like darker tones of like this bluish green up here, and then lighter tones down here. It's just so gorgeous as far as the paintwork goes. I really, really love the paint scheme and paint application of this Dunkleosteus. Coming down here into the fin, you can see the detailing of the fin is beautifully done. You can also see that there's like variation of color within the fin, as we have like a darker bluish green primarily, but you can also see lighter tones of color kind of creeping through areas of the fin. And of course on the underside we have a very bright white coloration, and you can see that the detailing down here, like the structure and the texturing to the skin, is all really well done throughout the entire figure. As you come back up here to the top of our Dunkleosteus, you can see again some more of that gorgeous shading and color variation included. You can also see a fin up here, which is beautifully sculpted out. We also have some more fins down here, very small ones, which are really, really well done from a detailing standpoint. Again, look at how insanely nice this is. Like, this tone of white here for the underside is picture perfect for what I would expect to see on the underside of a fish. So they have done a very good job of the actual tone of white used down there. And then leading back here into the tail, again, we have that really nice looking Dunkleosteus tail, beautiful fin back here that runs along the tail. It looks insanely well done with some more nice color variation added to it. We also have, which I actually forgot to point out in the beginning of the review, that tag that you always have when it comes to a Recur figure, which does sport some information on the Dunkleosteus and everything, like a question and answer area. And we also have a scale, which this one is in 1/40th scale, according to our tag right here. But again, you can see that there's not too much difference on this side compared to the previous side when it comes to this Dunkleosteus, because it's not in any type of a super crazy dramatic position. It honestly looks like it's swimming almost completely straight with a slight right turn, and then closing in on some sort of a meal right there. As you see, the mouth is wide open, ready to take a bite out of whatever it is interested in, and whatever it's interested in should probably take off, because I would not want to be on the receiving end of that bite from a Dunkleosteus. But you can again see on this side it's just as gorgeous as it looked on the previous side, and you can see a super smooth transition between the darker colors to the lighter underbelly. Very nice looking in that area as well, but you can also see leading up here into the head, again, some really nice shading, beautiful texturing, but also those really nice looking eyes. I love the paint here on the eyes, but this is an incredibly nice Dunkleosteus that I am beyond excited to now have in my collection. As far as a size goes, being a Recur model, it's going to be pretty big. So for a length, you are looking at about the 10.5-inch range, or about the 26.5, closing in a 27 centimeter area. There's not much for a height, but considering the positioning of the figure, it has the head up a little bit taller. So you're looking at about 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters. And I really do like how they've positioned this Dunkleosteus, because a lot of the time when you get a model of this species, it's like just flat to the ground. Like there's no real good way to display it unless you have like a stand or something. But Recur has actually done a good job with giving this like an upward stance right here in the front of the model. So when you lay it flat, it still kind of displays itself. Like it looks really cool the way they've done that, and they always do that. It seems like they just do a fantastic job of coming up with ways, especially with their aquatic species, to display them. Like the Lioplorodon was like in a really cool position, but still displayed the model beautifully as far as like a really nice front-facing view of it. Like that's exactly what you see here with this Dunkleosteus, like something that probably should just be like flat to the ground. They've found a way to use the fins to hold it up here in the front to position it and display it really nicely. And also this is again that soft squishy feel like you always get when it comes to a Recur figure, so it's really safe for your kids, but also great as an adult collector, because if you drop it, you're probably not going to damage it, which is a huge plus, because I damage figures all the time because I'm incredibly clumsy. But anyway, as far as a size comparison goes, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line in comparison to our impressively large Dunkleosteus right here. And you can see that again, size-wise, Recur models are always really quite large, and you can definitely see that with the Dunkleosteus. The Colovosaurus is kind of blocking him a little bit, but if you just take those guys out of the equation right here for a moment and put that Dunkleosteus next to Mr. Papo Rex, you can see that first of all, the Papo Rex is in a very bad position to get bit by our Dunkleosteus, but also the fact that that figure is really quite sizable, easily one of, if not the largest Dunkleosteus models in my collection. So this Recur Dunkleosteus is a gorgeous figure. Like they have done a fantastic job on this one, and I really honestly am starting to feel like their aquatic species are like their really good strong point. Like they do a great job on the aquatic animals in their collection, and I was thoroughly impressed with each and every one that I've had in this box of figures, but this Dunkleosteus might be one of the most impressive of all when it comes to the aquatic figures included. The sculpt is really nicely done, and they have done a great job of applying very fine detail to the figure throughout. Like there is a lot of really nice skin texture on the animal, and it's something that you wouldn't expect to find so much of it on, but Recur has done a phenomenal job of actually applying detail to it that makes it look super lifelike and super realistic, with lots of insanely nice looking fine detailing that you almost can't even pick up on until you're nice and close and get a nice close-up shot of the model, because the somewhat glossy look to the body almost shines that detail away until you get nice and close and you can really appreciate just how good the detailing aspect is. I love the paintwork of this figure as well. It is a gorgeous looking paint application, but it's nothing overly flashy, which I really do like. I don't feel like a Dunkleosteus would be overly flashy, but it's the tones of color and the way they've applied it is so smooth and so appealing. Like the bluish greenish type of a tone of color for the overall body is extremely nice. Like I really like that coloration that they've chosen for it, and the way they've highlighted certain areas with that darker coloration just makes it look super appealing. On top of that real nice coloration I was talking about initially, that like darker coloration highlighting the different areas really tops off the overall appeal factor for me. I really like the fact that they have the model kind of positioned in an upright fashion as well, just so that it's nice to display and isn't just something that's going to lay flat and kind of get lost in the background. It's something that will stand out quite beautifully when displayed. So this model overall is insanely nice. Another beautiful aquatic species from Recur for their prehistoric line, and a beautiful in general Dunkleosteus model now entering my collection. So if you are interested in this, make sure you head to the link in the description, as I will include a link to both the Recur website and the Recur Amazon store, where you can scroll around, buy yourself some fantastic Recur figures, including this really beautiful Dunkleosteus, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.